Hello, hello guys. Welcome to another Adalo Class, which is the part two of the series that we are currently on, Adalo Class for Beginner. In this previous video, we talked about some basic things about Adalo, and we were able to talk about all the things that we need in order to build an Adalo app. So, today we are going to be talking about something that I called Project App Breakdown. But before we get into that, let's talk about getting help on Adalo. Now, when you are building an Adalo app, you are working on Adalo. Whenever you need help, probably you get stuck on a project or any feature, you can always come up here and you are going to have access to get something like get hire an expert because Adalo have a lot of experts listed on their platform. You can see many of them and you can choose to get into the profile of any of them. And right here is my own profile. See, Clement Adalo expert since November 2013. So yeah, I'm the CEO what's called ClemxyTech agency, and yes, my profile is adalu.com/experts/Clement, and you can always get access to help from within your app. So let's get into today's class, which is app breakdown. Now, when you have any idea of any app that you want to build and you want to implement with Adalo or any platform, even or even if it's custom coding, you are going to need to document your idea. You need to document your idea. And here I call it app breakdown. Now, in documenting your idea, you are going to do a lot of things. Now, first of all, is to have idea of what you want to build in the first place. What is it doing? What is the solution? What is the service your app is going to be providing for people? What is the solution your app is providing? So you need to have your unique selling points. You need to have your unique selling idea. And right, we are going to be working on is a form. We are going to be working on a simple SaaS app. SaaS means software as a service, and this web app is going to be similar to what we popularly know as Udemy. So if you get to on udemy.com, you just be able to sign up as students straight, but you can also sign up as tutors. That is, you can be uploading your tutorial courses on Udemy for students who want to learn to enroll in. So which means that there are basically two major users on Udemy. You have tutors and we have tutors and students. These will be our two major users on our app that we are going to be working on, tutors and students. Now, tutors will be providing courses for students to get and learn. Students can see a list of courses on the app and they can choose to enroll in any of them. So that brings us to our core features of this app. Now, this app is for learning, is a learning platform, and the main users are tutors and students. Of course, there's going to be a super admin who can have access to the super admin is going to be like the owner of the SaaS of the app, because tutors and students are just users of the app. The owner of the app will be the one who built the app, probably the company who owns the app or something like that, something like Udemy, the super admin, and for platforms like that. But the major users are tutors and students. Now, tutors will be able to upload. Now, the next thing is to identify use cases. Use cases. Use cases. Right? When you know your users, you need to identify your use cases. Use cases. And to properly uh, structure and visualize your use cases, you can use something like draw.io to to properly identify your use cases, how things will work out. And we're going to talk about more in a bit. So, tutors will be able to upload their courses. They're able to upload courses, and also they can also what? They can also manage courses, which I call courses management, course management. They're able to upload courses, they can manage their courses, which means in managing the courses, which means they can choose to update, to delete, to edit, and so on. Now, students will be able to watch the courses, they will be able to enroll in any of the courses or in as many courses as they want. So they will be able to enroll in all any courses that they want. They will be able to watch the courses. They will be able to get certificates when the course is complete. Once they complete a course, they will be able to get certificates, which means tutors will also be able to upload, we have to upload certificates for each of their courses, right? But then there can be some courses that have no certificates, some courses that are free might not have certificate. Understand? So courses that are not free would definitely have certificate. So, and of course, each course will have forum. That is the forum where students can relate, students can share ideas, they can write about their journey of the course, what they are learning, and so on. So, and also on these forums, the tutors can also have access to these forums, regulate the forums, uh, provide tasks in the forums for students to work on, and so on. So each course we have forum, each of the courses we have forum. Now there will be announcement feature where tutors can make an announcement about the course, about each course, provide updates or give tasks. And of course, uh, we are going to have tasks separate as well, not just announcements. We are going to have tasks. You can provide tasks for students to work on. Understand? You can provide tasks for students to work on. And also there will be quiz. After there will be quiz for students to work on as well. And of course, when they are done, there will be course certificates. Now there will be there's something called onboarding process. Onboarding process is how users get from landing on the app front to having an account on the app and getting into the account proper. So there will be onboarding process, users registering, verifying their details, and so on. So onboarding process. Now students will be able to enroll in any course that they want. They will be able to enroll. Yeah, to enroll you have to make payments, so there will be payment system. And tutors also we have to subscribe on the platform to start uploading courses, so they will have to make payments as well, which is for subscription. And of course, tutors can manage their courses, so there will be course management. So these are our core features. Something about app is that as we are building, we might we might come up with some other features that we would like to add. So whenever as we are working with it, if we come up with more features, we can add as well. So next thing we want to do is feasibility research, because of course we have identified our solution, we want to provide the service we want to provide. We have identified the core features. Now we need to know how possible are these things to implement, especially on no code tools, right? Because definitely all no code tools will definitely have their limitation. So you want to be sure that you can actually achieve what you have in mind on the platform you are using. So there will be feasibility research, not only for limitation, you also want to know the things that are needed, requirements, and the likes to implement each of the features, right? So once we are done with that, then we get on what is called UI UX design, right? UI UX design to have a proper design for the interface of the app. So we need to design the interface of the app, which is why we are going to need UI UX design. And for UI UX design, you can use something like Figma, you can use Adobe XD, and you can have any other platform you're comfortable with. You can definitely use any of those. So now in our UI design, the first thing we are going to do here is to have our users personnel. User personnel. So users personnel. Something like for example, we can have we can have all right. Something like okay, you can say for example students. Mm. Let's say this student is uh what's the name? Let's give him a name. Let's say this student is let's say John. Let's say John. Let's say this student is John. So what can John do? Right? How will John operate? Understand? So John, you say John sign into just John gets on the platform. On the platform, he signs up. He's a student, right? He signs up. Understand? So he's able to navigate through courses. Understand? Find a choice and enroll. Find a choice and enroll. So of course, to enroll is going to make what? Make payment if it's not free. It's going to make payment if it's not free. Then start learning, start watching tutorial, which is start learning tutorial. Okay. Along the way, it's going to take quiz, complete tasks, right? Take quiz, complete tasks. And whenever John decides to log out of the platform, he can always return and continue his learning from where he stops. So all those we have to be considered in setting up the next phase, which is our database structure. So something like this, but then it's going to be more feasible, more well, better detailed than this when we are doing it on our on our UI UX platform. Understand? So the same thing once we are done with for students, we do an example for tutor as well. From getting on the platform, making subscription to use the platform, uploading course, and so on. So all that will be done UI user personnel. This is to make the design and the flow of the app implementation easier. That is why you need to do all this. So after user personnel, so that is when you have to that's when you have to start designing your UI, which is the interface. Then after the interface, you might want to do a little bit of prototyping to see to show how this app will work, especially it's going to be a big app for probably big business, major business, or you just want to have it. So this is going to be good. Doing something like this on Figma is going to be nice. You are going to see how the features will be working and so on your prototyping. Like I said in the first part of the tutorial, this is not a UI UX design course, so we are not getting into details. We are just talking briefly on UI UX and why we need to do it before getting on to building. So once we are done with this, the next thing is database structure, which is another reason why we need to do our app breakdown very well, understand the user personnel and our design, the features that and then the requirements of our features, what how we are going to be setting them up so that we can set up our database, we can design our database structure very well for the app not to have issues. And for this particular project, we are going to be using Adalo internal database, but then we're also going to talk about external database such as Zano. Such as Zano is an external database that we can make use of and integrate with Adalo. We are going to talk about that as well. So, uh, we have done justice to the aim of this particular part, which is part two, and which is about app breakdown. And the next thing we are going to be getting onto our app, and we are going to design the database. We are going to set up the basic database because we cannot complete it before even starting to build the app. As we continue to build our app, we are going to be needing to make adjustments to our setup, and we are going to be adding more to the setup. So we are going to understand better when we get to the part three of this course, which is Adalo database structure design, and specifically for our app. And now another thing we want to do is to name our app, of course. And we can learn it. We are going to call it Lenify, right? Lenify. I think it sounds interesting. Let's let's give it something nice. So our app will be called Nanify. We call Nanify. So now, uh, of course, another thing that we must do after before we even get on designing, before you start designing, is we are going to do what is called branding. We are going to brand. We are going to work on branding, and for branding, you are going to, of course, know logo design, have your logo. We are going to have color combination that we are going to be using for our design, color combination for the design. Then we are going to know the fonts, font family, font size, font sizes. All those we are going to need to uh, properly put in place before we jump to even designing the UI design. So that is that will be all for this part two of this training, which is Adalo class for beginners app breakdown. So once again, my name is Clement, CEO ClemxyTech agency, and we have a long way to go in this tutorial series. Adalo app for absolute beginner, and we are be working on a app that is called Nelify, as we just named it. Nelify is similar to Udemy. If you probably you guys will know what Udemy is, or you can go on and search udemy.com. You are going to have more understand more of what we are trying to build here. Understand? So if you like this tutorial series, you can support me by subscribing to the channel, like the video, turn on the notification to receive updates as we upload the courses, especially for this tutorial series, because we are going to continue uploading until we complete building the app. And you can do exactly the same thing to build your own app. So if you really want to learn Adalu the right way, you really want to know how to do things, design and implement these things, I will recommend you start designing your own, start doing the same thing as we work on this app project, and as we are uploading different parts of this series. So thank you for taking your time. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next tutorial part, which will be part 3.